Hello, my friend. Do you often find yourself feeling drained, overwhelmed, or having that nagging feeling that says, if you could just pull it together, you'll feel better? When really you would rather just be feeling enlivened, energized, clear-headed, and ready to take on whatever comes your way? If you're watching this video right now and what I just said resonates with you, chances are you're an empath. My name is Tiffany Walker with empathrising.net. If you have that question, am I an empath? This short video today is here to help you figure that out. My husband Jack and I work with empaths all over the world in our Empath Rising program. We see firsthand the characteristics and the challenges that empaths face, no matter where you live in the world. I myself am a full-blown empath, and let me tell you something. Before I knew I was an empath, life was damn hard. It was really rough. I spent year after year going to doctor. I'd go to a therapist, I'd go to a psychiatrist. I was given all these diagnoses, and none of them were correct. I was taking every medication you can possibly fathom every day down my face. And on top of that, I was reading every self-help book I could get a hold of, and I ended up getting 14 rounds of shock therapy. Now, if you don't know what shock therapy is, all it is electrodes being put on your head, and it shocks your brain into trying to work the way that it's supposed to. It's extremely drastic and extremely dangerous. It didn't work. What it did do, though, is erase my memory. So I had to start over. Once I learned that I was an empath, and once I began to understand what it meant to manage my energy and to feel better, life became awesome. And that's why I'm doing this video for you today. I have some very specific questions to ask you that will help you figure out whether you're an empath or not. Before I ask you those questions, though, I want to share some awesome information about being a highly sensitive person. It's now been scientifically proven that 20% of the population on this planet are highly sensitive people, and their brains work differently. So when I say highly sensitive person, I'm talking about the empath. Your brain works differently. So really, that makes you kind of special. But I think you've probably always known you're a little bit different. So let's just jump into the questions so you can see where you're at as being an empath. So the first question I want to ask you is, have you always felt different? Kind of like you don't fit in no matter where you go, you just feel a little bit different than everyone else. If you said yes, you may be an empath. Do you have this deep need or desire to help other people? Especially when you see someone struggling, do you just feel like, I know I can help that person? Have you ever noticed that people just come out of the woodwork and share their life story with you, and you know exactly what to say to help them out? Do you find that you feel drained after you hang out with other people? Have you ever noticed that when you're in public places, you can get kind of anxious and overwhelmed, overloaded, and want to go home? Have you always been highly emotional? You know, where someone's like, come on, you're just being too sensitive. Or pull up your bootstraps and just keep going. Have you always been highly creative? Does small talk drive you crazy? And what I mean by that is when you're talking to someone and they're just talking about nothing, and it's like, oh, I cannot take this person's conversation for one more second. Do you ever wonder if you're feeling your feelings or someone else's? That is a real deal, right? Oh, is that their feelings or my feelings? Do you ever feel scattered or not very clear-headed? In fact, do you feel that often? Are you able to read the mood of a room or a person that you're by? And the last question, do you just feel everything so deeply to the point where you feel like this is just really extreme? If you've answered yes to half of these or more, you're more than likely, most positively, an empath. This is really important for you to understand. When you understand this, then you can learn what being an empath really means and how to manage your energy. And you're going to be feeling a whole lot better.